Let's backtrack a little bit though, right? Like, what year do you start interning at Eminem Studio?
Oh man, that was crazy. 2008 was when I started interning. Shout out to King Gordy. King Gordy made that happen.
Okay, so this is like what, around relapse or recovery?
I honestly can't even remember, man, and no disrespect to M, but I wasn't a big fan of Eminem back then. No, it wasn't. Relapse came after this because that's when I started becoming a fan again. But like Encore and Curtain Call and these albums, I was not a fan of. I stopped being a true fan after Eminem Show. Eminem Show was phenomenal, but phenomenal, bro. Like those
probably
first
my favorite
three
Eminem album.
Yeah, mine too. Those first three albums were completely like changed the game, undeniable. But then I don't know. I felt like it was just different on Encore.
Well, he did have his addiction that he was dealing with and everything. So
well, he had that, and he also was like, I think he was surrounded by different people like 50 Cent and he was I felt like it was very noticeable how much he was trying to like if you're around those guys, right? Like I don't know. I don't want to put it in a disrespectful way, but if you're around those guys, you want to be one of those guys, right? You know what I mean? Like I feel like he was around 50 Cent. He kind of got a little thug in him. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm not crazy lyrical Eminem anymore. I'm more like you don't want to fuck with me. Like I'm 50 Cent right there. It's Lloyd Banks right there. Like I'm more of a thug. I'm beefing with Benzino and Ja Rule. I'm this and that. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion, but I could be completely wrong. And like I said, I mean no disrespect, but that's just the vibe I got off the whole thing.
Yes. So you're talking about that time, and he was doing a lot of mixtapes, and then Encore happened, 2004. And he kind of took.
I can't name you one song off Encore, but I remember all the mixtapes.
Right.
And then the Shady 2.0 joint. I remember that because.
Oh, you're talking about not Shady 2.0 was later on with Slaughterhouse and Yellow Wolf, but you're talking about like the Re-Up album.
Was it
where Cassius and like Stack Cole and like how they were doing that whole thing?
It was a drawing of everyone on the cover.
Right. That was the Re-Up album. That was 2006 or something like that.
My bad. I'm getting mixed up then. Yes. So, but the reason I remember that is because I was so blown away because he drew that whole cover, bro. And it was like,
wow.
It was like looking at it. And when I found that out, I swear to God, I probably like just studied that cover for like an hour. Because like I said, I like to draw and shit like that. And I'm just like, damn, man, there's so much detail in this. Like he killed this shit. I didn't even know he liked art and knew how to draw and shit like that.
So then you're saying around 2008 you start interning for his studio, right? How did that came about from King Gordy?
Yeah.
Right. And so what was that like
interning from out of his studio?
Yeah.
It was crazy, bro. It was from the day that I first met him. I never ever thought that I was gonna meet him, especially in like I was going down to his studio, me and my manager, to meet with Joel Martin, the owner of the studio, and King Gordy. And I knew that that's where Eminem record, but never in my life did I think, oh yeah, he's going to be here this day, the same day that I'm coming there. And I was completely wrong. He was there and he walked in I met him in the wildest way, man. Like, he walked in, we were sitting in the lounge room where there's this little stereo, and I was playing some beat with Gordy's vocals on it that I made that replaced the other beat that he was on. And they gave me his vocals, and they wanted me to remake the beat and make it a little bit more popish, because it was can't remember how the song went, but it says some shit. It was like, do you mind if we smoke one? Do you mind if we smoke one? So it was Gordy trying to get in his, like, damn, let's get something on the radio back. You know what I mean? So they had me redo that beat, and it was no emailing. I mean, there was email, obviously, but like Gordy hit me up. He was like, "Yo, Joel wants to have a fucking meeting with you, bro. He wants to pay too." He said this over the phone, and I'm like, "Word?" Yeah. So I called down there, and I was like, "Hey, just heard from Gordy that you guys wanna He was like, "Yeah, they want to meet you," and not Eminem, but just Joel, the guy that owned the studio. So he invited me down. He paid me for all the work that I did so far on, because I did half of King Gordy's King of Horrorcore mixtape, and I did almost the full mixtape for King Gordy, Van Dyke, and Harper music. And I did all those beats. So they paid me, and then they gave me a position. But anyway, they were like, we were sitting listening to this song, this beat that I did, and someone comes walking through the back, and I hear it, and I don't think nothing of it. Like I'm just like, oh, there's a door back there. I didn't realize that. So someone's walking, and he comes up and he stops right here, right next to me. I'm on the edge of this couch in this lounge, and because it's a small hallway, and Eminem has like mad CDs like this in his arms, and he's trying to carry them, and he dropped. So he stopped, and all of them just went boom, 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 fell to the floor. So at this point, he knelt down to, like, they were like scattered almost all the way across the room. And I mean, it was a small room, but so he's like on his hands and knees, reaching for CDs, like collecting all the CDs that he had just dropped. He finally gets them all, and but this is happening, like on the side of me, right to the side, like right fucking, like right here. He's on his hands and knees. I'm looking at the top of Eminem's head, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on now, bro? Like, that's Eminem. He just dropped a bunch of CDs. Like, I'm trying to make sense of what's going on. Trying to make sense of the fact that that's that motherfucker right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, then he picks the CDs up, and he puts them on the whatever counter, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Marshall." I'm looking, and I'm still sitting down. He's standing up at this point, and I'm just like, "Hey," I can't remember what I said, but that was definitely my I was just kind of speechless, like, "Hey," like my heart had fell in my foot or some shit. Like it was, I was just like, dog, like, you're one of my fucking heroes. Like I'm thinking this in my head, and I'm like telling myself, like, don't be a fucking a fanboy or no shit like that. Don't just relax, chill.
Don't play yourself right now. I got you.
Eminem. Just, have a party in your brain, but don't fucking don't show that. Just say what's up. And I'm just like, what up, man? And then and he was really cool, because after that conversation with Gordy, Joel, and my manager, and at the time, and me, he invited us to go sit in on his studio session, and which was in Studio A of 54 Sound. And bro, when I say this dude is sarcastically one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life, that's so real, bro. He's so fucking funny. He's got a joke about everything. It's almost like a maybe like a nervous
Habit.
twitch or
Yeah,
like
tick.
a tick
Yeah.
or something. Like he's gotta uh belittle everything, but in a funny way, or he's got to like figure out a funny thing to say about something sarcastically. But if you think of his how he raps, that's exactly who he is. So it's like at first, like we were bro, like the whole session, he just kept cracking jokes and jokes, and we were just laughing. Everybody was laughing, even the engineer, Tony Campana. And on the way home, I'm like reevaluating everything that happened in my head, and I'm like, that's crazy how fucking funny this dude was. And I'm like, but that's him. That's him on every record you listen to. That's not a serious record. And it's like that's just him. That's him. Dude. It's crazy. It was such
What
a dope
songs did he
experience.
play? What songs did he play during the session?
He was working on the TI joint. No, he didn't play anything that session. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of a different time that I was in the studio with them. I got to hear that touchdown shit. You remember that?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
he says that though. He admits that song was terrible too, though.
It was, but still, like even though it wasn't one of his best songs that I got to sit in on. That was one of them that I got to sit in on that actually seen the light of day. Because a lot of shit that he did, was just scratch shit. Like He would just work, and he would be there a lot.
So you got to be around him during the time that he was. Well, his description was he was relearning how to rap because he had just.
No, this was before any of that drug shit happened, or he might have been going through it.
No, because you said 2008. 2008 was he releases Relapse in 2009.
Yeah, so I remember,
and that's when he's sober. That's when he's sober and Relapse
in 2009. Okay, yeah. So I remember what happened. So just I don't know. I'm not sure as far as like he could have been high as fuck at every session that or every time I ever seen him in the studio, or every session I ever was able to sit in on, or anything like that. He probably was. I don't know. I couldn't tell. He like I said, he was pretty much the same way every time. Like he was very sarcastic.
But I think that you might be right though, because he overdosed in 2007, but that touchdown song was done during the time that he was still using, I believe.
Yeah. He overdosed in 2007?
Yeah.
Because he must have still been using that. Like, because I met him and I couldn't tell if he was fucked up or not. Usually, you can tell.
I think that you actually were there in 2007 because I heard you in another interview say 2007. Because the touchdown song comes out on T.I.'s album, T.I. versus T.I.P. in November of 2007. So you heard it before.
Maybe it was 2007.
Yeah, you heard it before it came out.
All I remember is, so back home, what had happened is me and my girlfriend of like 4 years, we broke up, and it was in the summer. And then we got back together. But while we were broke up, I was like, oh, so they told me when I first met, that first day that I was there, they were like, anytime you want to come and use this studio, because they had multiple studios in that building. Studio A was just the biggest one where like Eminem worked out of. But they were like, if you want to come down here and work every day on music, you're allowed to. Like, you got the pass. And I'm like, oh my God, that's fucking amazing. So I didn't though, because I was still like hung up over this girl back home. And I'm trying to remember the timeline. So me and her got back together, and it was something where I was like, okay, we're back together. So we're going to have this Saginaw, Detroit relationship where you're going to come down during the weekend. And that's what she did. And I didn't really know my way around Detroit too well back then. So I lived all the way out in fucking Waterford. I don't know why I lived in. Every day was like a fucking 35-minute drive to 9 Mile in Ferndale. And it was just like, why did I move there? But anyway, yeah, so that's what made me be like, okay, I'm gonna move down there. Like I got her back. We're cool now. She's gonna come down every weekend. So now I feel comfortable moving to Detroit. Like everything's back in place. And I'm gonna take them up on that offer because it's not too late. And so they let me work there. They even gave me jobs to have some extra money. Like most of the day that I was there, I was able to work on music, but like for like 3 or 4 hours, I had to do like janitorial shit, like, or be like a runner for them, like go get them coffee, go get them lunch if they make an order or something. Which was cool. Like that was like easy shit, especially Joel was paying me very, very, very good for doing that shit every week. So I was like, this is definitely working out. And yeah, it was dope, man. And then I had to leave though. My dad was getting sick.
Right. Wait, before we get into that though, right?